Hello survivors, I'm SurvivalVis, and welcome back to Monster Hunter World Let's Hunt. I figured as a nice little Sunday series are going on, we'll keep playing some more Monster Hunter World, and with the recent news that it's not going to be until 2020 that we're going to see Monster Hunter World Iceborne on PC, I figured this is a good way to just kind of make people more aware of Monster Hunter and just have something fun on the channel to do as a lazy Sunday thing. So today, we're going to switch things up a little bit and be using the heavy bowgun for a change. As you can see, this is Nergigantes with a shield on it. Actually, let me get you the equipment info. A shield, reload assist, recoil suppressor. It doesn't actually have any decorations to it. And as for our skills, we are using, as you can see, the Empress Crown, the Empress Mail, the Valhazak for the rest. And what that gives us is the Vitality, the Stamina Cap, a full guard. Well, the Dragon Attack's kind of useless. Peak Performance, Health Boost, Recovery Speed, Quick Sheath, Tool Specialist, a number of different things. We actually might be able to boost something. Well, actually maybe not, considering we are only with the one slot available. Let me just check and see. I suppose I could always just... Ooh, actually, you know what? Maybe we'll take off the two of those Quick Sheaths and just put one on, because that opens up two slots there. Now, if you listen to people who do Monster Hunter, there's something of a myth called the meta. Don't believe it. Monster Hunter isn't about the highest DPS numbers you can do like an MMO might be. Monster Hunter is about having fun and just choosing what you want to play and having fun with it. Nobody's really going to get mad at you if you're not playing a certain style or way, or if they do, that's kind of, I'd have to say, a little more elitist than you want to be around. Just because Monster Hunter is such a free-form game. As long as you're able to... Ooh, have some shield jewels, eh? Well, I don't know if I really need that, but I just want to see what other things I could kind of slot in. Maybe we'll do a couple of critical jewels. It's just play how you want to play and have fun with it. If you're trying to fit the meta, nobody's going to be happy with you if you cart because you're not playing an armor set you are good and feel used to. You know what, for this, we'll just go into an expedition, and let's do... Actually, hang on, is there anywhere I haven't done? Trying to remember the first one. I think we might have done the Ancient Forest. I know we've done the Elder's Recess, I think, going after Did we go after Bazel? I can't remember. Who did we go after? Trying to remember. I've only done 3 of them, but I can't... Oh, we did the Coral Highlands. I know that was one. We did Valhazak. And I think we did a Wildspire Waste. So maybe we'll head up the Elder's Recess and see who we can lay to smackdown on up there. Bazel's always a fun one to fight up against. So we'll head out on that. And yeah, don't worry about if you're not fitting to the meta or the end game or blah blah blah. I've never seen Monster Hunter as being a series like that. The combat is kind of that real-time mix with, well, real-time hack and slash, and almost turn-based, because you let the monster kind of do what it will, you dodge, get out of the way, and then you have your chance, and then you kind of switch back and forth between that. If you really want to go speedrunning and worry about stuff like that, then you could consider a meta sort of exists, but for the most part, I'd say either play what you have most fun with, wear whatever armor looks cool, and just get whatever skills you want to get. Monster Hunter is about having fun hunting the monsters your way. That's, I think, one of the reasons why you have so many different weapons, or weapon families to be able to pick from. And with Iceborne, though we're not getting any new families, thankfully, because I think we actually have a pretty good sort of set already, we're hopefully going to get a little bit more variety in the endgame designs for the weapons. Because I admit that's one thing that Monster Hunter World kind of toned down a lot. There are a few weapons that have their own unique designs, like Nergigantes' heavy bowgun here. It has a nice final tier look to it. But a lot of them do just feature sort of the same general base that gets a little bit added to it over time. I do like that for as you're progressing through the game. But when it gets to the final upgrade point, I'd like them to kind of get a little more unique in what they have to offer. And that is Bazelgeuse. Or Bazelgeuse. I don't know what his name's actually supposed to be. Everybody seems to have their own translation of it, but we at least all call him Bazel. Bazelgeuse? Maybe it's something like that. As much as that's a weird one, I think it's better than Goose or Gace or Juice or whatever you want to call them. Bazelgeuse. That could very well be it. I actually kind of like the ring of that, because it doesn't have that weird feeling you expect to it. There we go, get a little smack to get started, and start taking them on. So this is just episode 4 of our little Let's Hunt series. Depending on how popular the series gets, or if it gets popular at all, I'll happily do more Monster Hunter. It's one of my favorite series. And if I had the budget to be able to pick up a Nintendo Switch and a capture card, I'd actually really love to be able to do the journey of going through that game with you guys. Of going right from very low rank. Come on, there we go. I already broke some parts on him. Surprised at that. But going through the series on that with you, showing off the Generations Ultimate, that kind of stuff. For now, though, we're going to have to stick to just World for being able to show off what you can do. And that's not bad at all, but I do feel like some of the... I just wish I could show off some of the previous games from parts of the Generations, like... Monster Hunter 3, I think, had the best Bowgun system to it. I actually replayed that on my old Wii. I'm surprised that still works, but... I replayed that a little bit on my Wii and just remember how much customization you get with the Bowguns, where they were all made in separate parts, basically. You had some Bowguns that were kind of like they are now, where you had a full weapon choice that's your... Oh. I think he's coming down this run. Now, there's the bomber. There he is. Where they're basically all one piece, light and heavy were the only options. But Monster Hunter Tri actually broke up Bowguns so they had 3 parts to them. You had the frame, the barrel, and you had the stock. And you had varying mixes of, like the Great Jaggy, one of the early kind of raptor monsters in it, had the full barrel, frame, and stock to it, whereas Baroth only had the barrel, but that had a shield on it. And then frames were even divided into whether they were the folding type or just the draw type. It was a really unique system that I wish they could kind of figure out a way to keep. I think that might take and put too much into that one family of weapons. Because Tri, or 3, really also cut back on how many weapons there were to use. I think you only actually had like 6 or 7 main families. Bazel, you miss. I think our B-52 lost its navigation system. You going to come up here, buddy? Yeah, there he is. Kind of. Not really. Bazel, come on. Come here. That's a good bomber. That's a good bomber. Oh, and going to give a little roar. There we go. Okay, so now we just got to track where he is. Not set off any of his bombs. But Tri had... Oh, actually, maybe I will get that track, because that look, I thought that said tempered. That does say tempered to it. Yeah, sure, we'll get those. Tri was a really good one for... As much as it pulled back on what you could do, the underwater combat, I enjoyed it. I think the biggest thing is World has brought in a much more dynamic and fluid movement system to the games. I think they might try keeping that going forward. Because Generations Ultimate, I think they might be able to make the games a little easier if they lose the hunting styles and arcs. stop him right in his tracks for us. As much as each weapon you want to push it be more unique, I think you're going to have a lot of people in the series really get thrown for a loop going back to how Monster Hunter used to be before World, with how you could get out of so many of your combos much easier, and even no animation locks on when you're using items like potions for healing. I think that's also where World feels easier, only because you aren't as restricted in what you have for movement. Uh-oh. Get out of that, and here he comes. Oh, could not block that, though. And also, World doesn't have a G rank yet, so that'll probably be something that once we get in with Iceborne, we're going to also see things step up quite a bit more, too. Let's give Bazel a nice Gatling welcome. There we go. I'm actually surprised how long it took before we got him to flinch from that. Uh-oh. And thanks for nothing, Palico. Palicos are probably the worst iteration of companions, to be honest. They've rarely been helpful with getting you out of stuns or paralysis or sleep. A lot of previous games really did those much better. As much as the healing is nice to have for them, I'd much rather them just be more helpful in general, like stuns or getting monsters. Actually, they're pretty good at getting monster attention. Back this way, Bagel. Come on, there you go. That's a good B-52. Ow. Bad B-52. You're supposed to bomb, not charge. Oh, speak of which, I better get moving before he comes in on us. There he is. Oh, what else do I have to use? Not really that much, aside from normal 3. It's probably going to be the hardest hitting ammo I got to use against them. Now, I gotta remember, I have the shield on the heavy bowgun. I'm so used to the light bowguns not having it. I wonder, though, if the light bowguns might be more interesting having a small shield on them. I'm also surprised at how much damage he's actually able to take before he's starting to limper that. And again, we aren't using any of the elements that he's weak to, it is just raw damage. I wonder, can we give him a little smackdown? Oh, we can with the heavy bowgun too. Ow. Oh, there he is. He's weak now. I was wondering when we'd see him start limping off like this. Don't worry, Bazel. Bazelgeuse, or... I still want to know what the correct pronunciation is. Oh, he sleeps literally right here. Okay. What mantles do I have on, actually? Nothing that'll really work for giving them a big wake-up call. So we'll just smack them. Now. And I'm gonna come back this way. I thought he would have done more of a bombing run than that, to be honest. So, get cocky and then he'll put you in your place a bit. Nope. Yeah, I hear you, Bazel. Now. Spread ammo. I've never found spread to really be good ammo, to be honest, in any of the iterations of Monster Hunter. Oh. Surprised we actually got out of that without getting quaked by it. Ooh. I'll stop that run, though. And this'll be it. We'll get you down in just a moment, Bazel. There we go. Right into him. Man, he takes a lot before he flinches. Definitely don't have as much experience using the heavy bowgun as I do my other main weapons. The light bowgun and the bow. I've always been more about being mobile in Monster Hunter just because of how the monsters you hunt are. Oh, uh-oh. Yeah, he's doing his carpet bombing. Oh, actually surprised we were able to sneak under him like that. Okay, let's get that good. Try to finish him off with a couple sticks to the head. He did not like that nut, did he? No, he did not. What else do I got to use? Oh, we got level 2s. Those might work. They don't do as much as the 3s, but they should still. There we go. There he goes. Nice and easy down, Bazelgeuse. And we'll just carve them up. Granted, that took a little longer than I thought it would, but the heavy bowgun is a little clunky to what I usually like. Ooh, we got lucky. A gem just out of the blue on a carve like that. But yeah, Monster Hunter, just have fun with the series. If you do want to think about picking up any of the iterations, they are all very sound games. I'd probably recommend World over Generations Ultimate, but I'd probably actually say... See, that's where it's tough. If you can... It's probably easier to go from Generations Ultimate to World, because you gain mobility. I think it's a lot harder going from World to Generations Ultimate, if that's kind of your first take with the series, because you will feel much more rigid and strict on what you can do. The hunter arts and styles will change that up a little bit, but I still feel like those are kind of things are hard walls you'll run into. But for now, I think that wraps that up pretty nicely. So while I take a little rest here with my Palico Runa, I will see you guys in another video. I'll probably do these Monster Hunter Let's Hunts maybe once every week, just every Sunday as I mentioned before. A little rundown and just a lazy day for me. I want to keep a video going up at least once every day. Some videos, or some days I'll have 2 videos. They'll go back and forth a little bit. But if you do like this content, be sure to leave a little comment or a like to let me know if to keep going with the series or change things up or whatever you guys would like to see. And also, we are still working towards our 100 subscriber milestone, so if you do want to consider supporting the channel, just hit subscribe at the bottom. Well, not at the bottom of the video, but right underneath the video. It will really help us towards getting that custom URL to make the channel a little easier to find and link around. So until next time, survivors, please remember to take care and stay alive.